Welcome back to Basket Case Garage. I'm here on this beautiful breezy day to proudly present to you this beautiful, very lightly used, unmolested, as the car guys like to say, Yamaha Banshee. Actually, that's all a lie. It's in pretty bad. It's got some interesting, well, why don't I just show you? There's Willie. I don't know how I missed this, man. You said you're cool with me filming? All right, cool. Oh, there she is. Looking crispy. Brand new. Brand new. It's really not that bad.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's really not. One thing I can see wrong.
Chinese cylinders.
Aside from Chinese. Aside from Chinese.
See that, man?
Yeah, that's big and glaring. I don't think I've ever seen them. That brand Chinese before in my life.
A&P, man.
I mean, at least it got a box, but I mean, I've never seen that before.
Me neither, man. That is a
Clutch rod.
What's that?
Clutch rod. I think you're going to need a clutch rod.
What's this? Feel like it's welded?
No, but this is the Mexico telltale sign. The clutch rod.
Oh. I'm surprised the case is complete. I'm not gonna use those cylinders. We'll see. I got some stuff I want to show you. It's good to see, man.
Yeah.
It's like 2 years.
Maybe even longer than that, man.
Yeah. So Willie, you do all parts, right?
Oh,
Willie's real big in like the part out games. Is it just Banshees?
just benches. Yeah.
But we're like Philly, Jersey, like South Jersey area. Like any kind of Banshee parts, you can hit them up. I know you got a couple Instagrams, right?
Yeah, but just the Willie M Hustler is where I'm going to normally respond the fastest. I mean, it's just too many people, you know. But
Yeah.
and I ship. So.
Yeah, well, this one came from California, so that's actually why I hit him up, because, I mean, you guys know me, I'm constantly getting bikes and stuff, but Banshees, to get a Banshee at a good price point is tough, man. This was under 5,000 bucks, and you said it runs, right?
Yeah.
It actually runs, and it's complete. This really is not that bad. So I kind of just wanted to get it right away, so I hit up Willie, and it was like, I don't know, 3 days, not including the shipping. It was like 3 days and maybe a week to ship. And the Banshee's here. So if you're looking for a complete bike, if you're looking for parts, you can hit up Willie. I swear, it's not as bad as it looks. That's what I told myself when I first saw this thing. I closed my eyes, I told myself that, and then I opened my eyes, and it still looked the same. There's just a lot of, I mean, at first glance, it really isn't that bad. But then when you start looking closer, you start to see some weird things I've never seen before. So, like I said at the beginning, man, come on over here, let me show you what we got going on. So let's start off with the good, because that way, you know, nobody gets upset. I don't want anybody crying or anything, because I know people get really upset when they see bad things. So we'll start off with the fact that it's actually mostly complete. So, you know, you got the heel guards on here. There's a lot of stuff here that you usually just don't see on a Banshee, a used Banshee. So up here, we've got the Tours. See the Tours boxes in there? People get rid of those ASAP, man. Really, really crappy system. It was faulty from the factory. From what I understand, they're attached to the carburetors, and it was the throttle override system, I think is what it's called. And it was a safety system, and it just didn't work as well as it was supposed to. And I think they used to get stuck. Don't quote me on that one. I've never actually worked with them. I've never seen a Banshee with those, unless it's like like an OEM restoration or something. People usually get rid of those like right off the bat. And what's even weirder is that these are aftermarket carbs. Usually people get aftermarket carbs to get rid of the Tours. So they got aftermarket carbs and put the Tours back on there. Really strange. You've got the OEM skid plate. That's another thing that a lot of times that's gone. And we've also got the parking brake. So no block off on here. It's also got the coolant overflow bottle. Another thing that's sometimes not there. Then we come around here, we've got painted over plastics. It looks like there's a graphics kit on here or something. And they just painted right over it. This is very similar to how my 1990 came when it was brand new. And check this out, man. Another OEM part that a lot of guys get rid of on a Banshee like right away. The key ignition, and it has the key too. Oh, what is this? Custom. Yeah, the parking brake up there, man. Just stuff that you just don't see, man. Original bumper, all of the A-arms and stuff are actually pretty tight, dude. Like, check this out. Actually pretty tight. Usually when I see a machine in this condition, I'm expecting to grab those bars and it's like all over the place. I don't even think it has a bent steering stem. I'm always scared to even say that though, because every time I say something doesn't have a bent steering stem, it turns out it has like a bent frame. I hope it doesn't have a bent frame. I really don't. All right, let's pop the seat off. I'll show you what's going on under here. Some more custom action. For the most part, this is a pretty stock machine, but this is something I've never seen. First off, this filter is thrashed. I don't know if that's rust or what. Oh yeah, see, this side's not too bad, and then this side's all brown. That's either dirt, rust, or a combination of the two. And then look at this intake. So this is, I'm looking for markings on it. I don't see any markings. This may be custom. Usually it's like an oval, but this one's a circle, and they kind of have like a thicker portion at the top. And it actually looks like that may be like a home machine job or something. I've never seen, or like a really early pro design. You guys will have to let me know in the comment section below if you've seen that before. Oh man. Some mixed match bolts. These are those Tours systems I was talking about, dude. Those are going to go directly into the trash. The exhaust mounts, custom fabbed. This is called the motor mount modification. It's actually when you have a really fast machine, you actually have to put a motor mount up here to bolt your exhaust to, because the regular exhaust mounts, man, they just won't do. Willie told me that it runs. I don't know if he had it running. I certainly haven't heard it run, but yeah, apparently it runs and it rides. So let's see if it runs. All right, I'm just gonna place this air filter on here where it was, and we'll just hope that it's not too dirty. Now, I've already got the starting fluid handy because, well, we just don't know. Gas. Looks like there's enough in there that we can get it started. All right, key in. Move this. We'll try it with nothing. Let's put the gas on. It's flowing. I'm gonna choke. Yeah, let's try without the choke first. Kill switch. Oh, we've got a jingler. That's actually a really common Banshee mod. Makes it easier to start because if it's too tight, it doesn't work as well. It's hard to explain. Compression feels not horrible, but just choke it. See, the problem is it's jetted from Mexico. Fuel's flowing. Spark plug boots are on. Just gonna assume we're getting spark. Actually doesn't sound too bad. Ah. Just suddenly lost power and kind of coughed there. Yeah, I really hope this has oil in it because it has no leaks. It might have the oil mod where there's just no oil in it. All right, good, it runs. What I want to do is make sure there's coolant in this thing so we don't melt it down, because if we're going to get it up to temperature, that's exactly what's going to happen. We'll throw some gas in it, put some air in the tires, see if they hold air, and then we'll ride it. All right. Let's check this radiator. Surprised it's got all the bolts mostly. It's got coolant or water or something. Radiator looks like it's seen some better days though. Wow, it rolls a lot easier now with those tires inflated. Let's see if we can fire it up and see if the transmission and stuff works. Somebody literally already called the cops, and they drove by nice and slow, and they wait down at the driveway just looking up at the quad. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to stay on the lawn. I did notice this too. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but definitely, I think the swing arm, the carrier bearings are shot, and more than likely up top too. It doesn't really matter. All this stuff is gonna get replaced. Let's see if it runs. First kick. Clutch feels kind of mushy. Oh man. The air filter being really dirty, and I bet you the carbs are really dirty too. I'm sure that has something to do with the way this is running. Let's see if we can get some heat in it, and maybe then it'll run okay. Oh man. That's full throttle, dude. Oh, this is pretty bad. Choke is off. Oh, dude. You wouldn't be winning any races with this thing, that's for sure. Bro. Oh, man. This is horrible. All right, we're gonna do a full throttle run. Whoa! Dude. Oh my God. That's pretty pitiful. I would definitely say we're in need of a tune job here. I imagine that the main jets are probably just plugged up. Plus these junk aftermarket carburetors are probably not helping at all. But my God, this thing has no power whatsoever, like at all. Wow. All right, I feel bad we're beating on this thing. Let's give it a fighting chance. I've got a new filter here. We'll throw that on because this filter is definitely a major choking point. I mean, seriously, just look at this thing. It's definitely dirty, and I don't know if that's rust or what, but there's no way that this is, we're definitely not getting maximum flow. There's just no doubt. And I think this was a sand and dust kind of quad. From what I understand, it literally came from Mexico. So it's probably just really dirty. All right, let's see what happens now. If it's as dirty as I think it was, it should actually sound different. I can't even tell if it's firing on both cylinders. This thing is trash, dude. Well, I guess it's not the filter. All right, let's do it. Here we go. Holy shit, what the hell was that? Did you guys see that smoke just shoot out of the side of the engine? Wow. Well, hopefully the other gears work. I don't think we have enough power to get out of second gear. I wonder if we can get some air. Nope. All right, we should stop doing that before it explodes. Honestly, it really isn't that bad. Like, I actually think somebody really cared for this machine. I think this was like somebody's baby. And I mean that because if you look at the foot pegs, they're worn down like almost to nothing on the inside there, both sides. I don't know if those are the original pegs or not, but somebody definitely, or the multiple owners that had this, it was definitely a ridden machine. And I would bet that you know, all the bushings and stuff like I showed are really tight. The steering is really tight. I bet you somebody really rode the shit out of this thing and they just loved it. And then probably it either sat for too long or maybe they didn't know how to do maintenance on it or something. And, you know, they got a new bike. I don't know, but I would bet that it was loved. So why don't we I'm going to clean out the carbs. There's a number of stuff that could be going on. Possibly, you know, it looks like we have some leaking going on up here or on the spark plugs. It could just be as simple as not being tight enough, I don't know. But we could be leaking coolant into the cylinders. That could be why it's running bad. It could be the crank seals are going bad. You guys could probably see the exhaust seems to be going back and forth. Like, I'll be smoking a lot out the one pipe, then the other pipe, and then both, and then none. It's obviously not running on both cylinders right. So I think just changing the plugs out and cleaning the carbs, that could literally be all that this thing needs to just run decently. So let's do it, man. I'm not gonna do like a crazy in-depth clean. I'm just gonna pop the jets out, blow them out, make sure we're getting good flow and stuff in there. Be interesting to see what it looks like in those bowls. Then we'll throw some brand new NGKs in there and we'll try it out. All right, let's see if we can give this old gal some life before we tear it down and completely redo it. But this is just a bad representation of the Yamaha Banshee, man. Like, if this was somebody's first experience on a Banshee, that would be sad. Because this thing can't even get out of its own way. Oh, the jet. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the jet's like, this whole assembly is loose. The jet actually wasn't. It's like the, oh. Let's see if this is a real jet. I don't believe so. So this is probably the jet that came with the carburetors. It's like some unknown, unmarked size. That's not good. You need like a really thin screwdriver to get up in here for the pilot.
The main I'm gonna switch out with a, oh no, where's the rest of this? Oh, this is junk, dude. The main I'm gonna switch out with a genuine 270. Just taking a guess with this, but that should be close. And I'll do the same thing with the other side that I did with this one. I'm also gonna reset the fuel air screw to 1.5 turns out. You can actually see they plugged off these crossover sections, and these are really dry rotted. These boots are definitely on their way out. The crossovers though, on when you have like stock, I'm assuming these are stock size carbs, the crossover actually has a function. These carbs are actually a little bit too small for the 350, and it'll pull charge from both carburetors using that crossover tube. And then once you get up to, you know, like 30 millimeters and beyond, the crossover tube becomes basically useless, and it makes it more difficult to tune. So actually, this would probably benefit from having the crossover tube. No boost bottles though. This one actually looks like it's a bigger jet. Wow, look at this. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on the camera. Oh, you can see it. Look at the right size, the right side. These are both of the jets that came out. These are not, this isn't the old one and then the new jet that I'm putting in. So they had different size jets in both sides of the carburetor. You can clearly see that they're different. There's no wonder this thing was running so weird. I don't know that I've seen that before. Oh, where's the f***ing washer, dude? Come on. It'd be interesting to see how these run now. I don't have much hope for these knockoff carburetors, no matter how they're tuned. But in comparison to how it was, I think it'll be a lot better. All right, carbs are good. I'll do these plugs. Looks like we have 2 different plug boots. One of these was replaced at some point in time. So sometimes it's a good idea to take those off and then thread them back in, make sure that they have good contact. And I did go to sync up the carbs, and believe it or not, they were actually already synced up. See a lot of oil. Plugs don't look that bad. It looks a little rich, but the good thing is I don't see any coolant. I don't smell any kind of way that's alarming. I'm still gonna throw new plugs in here. Let's see, BR8ES, it's the stock plug. And I'm gonna throw a new plug in there, put a little dielectric on the top. That's gonna help with contact in our boot. I already have these gapped, so we should be good to go. All right there. That is exactly 19 foot-pounds. All right, oh, this one's a lot more rich. This was the side that had the bigger plug. I didn't see signs of detonating or anything on either side. Now we'll see how it runs with the new plugs and cleaning and jetting the carburetors. If I was going to continue to tune on this, I'd probably go for the grounds and make sure that we have all good grounds everywhere, and just check the wire harness in general, because just the condition of this bike overall tells me that probably doesn't have the best connections everywhere. Just my best guess. Don't have too much faith in it, because a Chinese carb, even a clean Chinese carb, is a dangerous carb to run, because the tolerances and specs of these things, they're not where they need to be. And especially with a twin, we've got 2 separate carburetors. I just don't have too much faith in it.
I wanted to stop to thank you for making it this far into the video. If you love Banshees and you can't wait for the next video, make sure to check out the Voodoo Banshee I built under the playlist Building the Ultimate Trail Banshee, Voodoo Banshee. I also want to thank my buddy Willie Hustler for hooking me up with this Banshee with really short notice. If you're looking to buy a complete Banshee, buy new parts, used parts, or if you're looking for rare parts, Willie can probably get them for you. You can find him on Instagram at Willie M. Hustler. If you don't find what you're looking for on his page, send him a message and he can probably get you what you're looking for. If you're enjoying the video so far and looking for a way to help out, giving the video a thumbs
thumbs up, leaving a comment below, or subscribing to the channel all help out a ton. Products and tools in the video are listed in the description below, and purchasing from those links does help me out a lot. I get a small kickback from that, and there's no extra cost to you. Voodoo Banshee t-shirts and hoodies are now available for sale. The link for that will also be in the description below. And if you're looking to support the channel even further, there is the option to join. All channel members get guaranteed responses to their YouTube comments. All right, well, I say it's about time we get back to work.
Still not great. I think that one plug boot is messing stuff up, because it seems like the right or the left cylinder still doesn't want to fire, and the pipe is cold too. This pipe should at least be warm. It's not even warm. So I'm gonna guess that this boot was not installed correctly. And I think I actually have some OEM boots here. I can see if maybe that's what was wrong with it. Let's try this other boot here. All right, I would take it for another rip around the yard just to see how the power changed, but I think we're getting into exploding territory. I don't know if you guys heard that noise. It sounded like it came from either the crank or the cylinder, and it specifically sounded like the left side. That's the side that's not really firing right. Like the pipe is still lukewarm. It's really not hot. Definitely not getting a good combustion. The left side, something's not right. And it also started leaking. It's kind of run down the back now. So I just kind of have a feeling it's on the verge of explosion, and it just wouldn't be a good idea to continue doing that. If I wasn't planning to tear this thing down entirely as it is, I probably wouldn't have sat there and revved it like that. I was really hoping it would maybe clear out, but I think what's going on is the crank seal is probably totally blown on the left side. That would just be my guess. I don't think we're going to be able to take care of that today. And probably the electric system, like the whole wire harness could probably be gone over. All the grounds could be checked just to make sure that, you know, we're getting good spark and everything. The stator should be looked at. The whole damn thing needs to be looked at. So I figured that's a good stopping point for today. And I've got big plans for this thing, man. Let me take it to the computer and I'll show you what I'm thinking about.
All right, guys, check it out. We're going to start with Google this time. We're not on eBay, Mike. What the heck? Yeah, we're going to go with Google, and I want to talk about the color scheme idea that I have for this thing. So I kind of want to do like a resto mod. Now, the color scheme that I want to do is a rare one. It's the 1992 Yamaha Banshee. You can see I've been searching it. And if you're a Banshee guy, you probably know this one. It's a pretty iconic color scheme. I don't think there's any other Banshee that's really quite like the 1992. You can see it's got a teal color scheme. We got the teal tank guard, the teal seat cover, white plastics, white rims, pink shocks. Let me get a better picture. This picture sucks. Here we go. Here's a good picture right here. They got the, like I said, the pink shocks, the pink graphics, the white plastics. It's just a very unique look. It's very, in my opinion, I'd say very 90s, almost like a beachy kind of look. Like it would look really good out on the sand dunes. I think it's an awesome color scheme. Whenever I see any kind of like group of Banshees or like a Banshee ride, the 1992s just really stand out. And that's why I want to do that color scheme. I just think it's really cool. Now, if you're a Banshee guy, you're probably like, oh, Mike, good luck getting those plastics. They're difficult to get, and that's facts, dude. If you're looking for these plastics, if you find a decent, like a mint set of OEM 1992 plastics, you're gonna pay, you know, close to $2,000 for them. Maybe you even will pay $2,000. They're rare, they're hard to come by, and especially in good condition, they go for a lot of money. However, I've got the hookup, man. If you guys know Vito's Performance, they make replica plastics. They're supposed to be really good. I actually made a video showing aftermarket plastics, comparing them to OEM, and just showing the quality and everything. And I didn't have Vito's plastics in there. They reached out to me and they were like, dude, you got to show our plastics, man. How could you do a plastic comparison and not have ours in there? So I didn't actually get my hands on them, but I've heard so many good reviews about Vito's plastics. And I got to talking with them about this project, and they don't have the 1992 color scheme, but they make replicas. You can see all these different kits of the different years of the Yamaha Banshee. If you're not into the Yamaha Banshee has got some iconic color schemes, and over the years they've changed the colors. It's made it really fun for collectors. So they do have a lot of iconic color schemes like this 1987 style right here, but they don't have the 92. So I talked to Vito's. They're gonna do a run of 400 sets of the 1992 color scheme. I'm gonna get one of the first ones, so keep your eye out for that, but you will be able to get your hands on those if you're quick. I'm really excited to get my hands on these. I'll have basically a brand new set of 1992 color schemes, and Vito's usually comes with the era-specific graphics. So I'll have the era-specific graphics on there already, and if I want to, I might make a custom set with, you know, add my little touch to it. One of those kind of deals where you gotta, if you look at the machine, you don't even see it, then you gotta double take and you're like, oh man, that's custom. That's Mike Sabo's. So you know me, guys, I've got my rendering made up. Now, this is actually a picture of a 1987 Banshee, and I just manipulated it to mimic the 1992 colors, and I've added a couple touches to it. I've got the FMF exhaust on there. Yes, we will be running the FMF. I'll explain that in a minute. You can see I got the Shorty silencer on there. And I've got beadlocks in the back. I want to do some rock out rims in the front. Stuff that's going to make it, you know, look very much OEM, but it won't be. It'll have a little bit better performance and stuff. I want to run some Elka Stage 1 suspension because they don't have reservoirs or anything on it. Put the pink springs and stuff on there. Keep it looking as factory as possible, but we'll get the performance of the new age stuff. It's not going to be like crazy performance, but it's going to be better than OEM because, especially in the suspension category, the Banshee is really not the greatest. For performance, we got to go to our #1 sponsor, eBay. For the engine kit, I've learned a lot with the Voodoo Banshee. That engine is great. That thing's a screamer in the top end and all, but it's a little bit unmanageable down low. I shouldn't say unmanageable, it's just hard to manage. If you're not really skilled with a two-stroke, it can be a real bear. So the 421 that I had on there before made a little bit better torque down low, and it still had great top-end power. I think I can do a little bit more with that. So I'm thinking about doing another one of these 421 Assassin kits. The reason I like the Assassin is because they look very stealth. It's a very OEM appearance, and check this out. With that kit, I'm not sure I'm gonna get that exact kit, but I might, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, this is a head that they offer that looks just like the OEM set, but it has interchangeable domes. So you can make it look very, very stealth. It's literally called the Stealth Head. Add to cart. So that's the engine modifications that I'm thinking of running. You know, go with some PWKs, V-Force 3 reeds, you know, the whole shebang. This is the suspension I'm talking about. I'm actually planning to redo the suspension that I took off of the OG Banshee, because that had stage 1 Elkas, but it was the old school dual rate spring ones. I talked to Rocket Ron. He said he can color the shock bodies and bring those things back to life, put pink springs on there and stuff. So it'll look very reminiscent of the OEM pink shocks that came on the 1992 Banshee, but we'll have the Elka performance. Add to cart. Now to pair the suspension up in the front. Oh man, you guys are gonna kill me. I don't think I'm actually gonna buy these. These are $104.99 shipped for a full set of performance A-arms. That's absolutely ridiculous, but I kid you not, man. I have heard that these ASI cheapy eBay A-arms are actually pretty good. I'm really curious. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys run these. Have you snapped them off? Are they good? Are they junk? I really want to know your experience. I still don't think I'm going to get them. LSR, Lone Star Racing makes ones that these look like knockoffs of the Lone Star ones. You can see the Lone Star ones right here. They look identical basically. But the thing is, you know, these are almost $700. But I guarantee it's a different story. You know, you're probably gonna get more premium ball joints. The material is probably gonna be different. These are probably made of chromoly, whereas the other ones are who even knows, like Chinesium, junk metal, pot metal, who knows? It's just for A-arms, I'm a little weary, but I don't know. Who knows? Depending on the reviews, maybe we'll do it. But, you know, you're going to get much better welds and stuff with the LSR. This is more likely the direction that I'm going to go. Again, with the Voodoo Banshee, it's really fun having it narrow and it's very nimble. But I kind of liked it with the +2s the way that it was before. So I think if we do these and we get them powder coated in the OEM color, I think it'll be pretty stealth. But it'll have that wider stance and kind of give it a more aggressive look. Add to cart. In the control section, we'll go to the tires. I think it's really important for an OEM build to have OEM tires. So keeping this looking as OEM as possible, the tires, they're gonna be perfect, man. So these are made by Doro. They're a replica of the original Dunlops that came with this era specific 1992. I think so anyways. And then we're gonna do the front tires. They have the DI 2002. This is almost identical to the OEM tire for the 1992, so these should be perfect. Add to cart. And then the one other thing I'm thinking I want to put on there is a set of Nerf bars, something like these old school DG Nerf bars. They're just, you know, they're not OEM, but I would say they're era specific. These old school, like small ones. If I can get pink nets, which I can do that, I can thread up custom nets and make them pink. It'll match the pink shocks and everything. I just think it'll look really clean, and then I'll run the OEM heel guards and stuff. I think it'll be a nice look. Add to cart. So that's the idea. You guys are going to have to let me know in the comment section below. Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? What do you guys think? The FMF exhaust, the reason I'm keeping that, because I know some people are going to be like, oh, dude, FMF is the most basic exhaust you can get. But, you know, I hear you, man. But I'll tell you what, FMF is a very good down low pipe. They call them fatties for a reason, man. My buddy Dave Moore, whenever I'm planning any kind of engine build, I always talk to him. He told me when he used to build Banshees back in the day for big guys, he said he would do fatties for fatties. No joke, man. If it was a bigger guy or a heavier guy, he would always put FMF fatties on there because they just make great down low power. So I'm not exactly a bigger guy, you know, I'm around 220 pounds, but I really want that down low torque. So no matter what your weight is, you're gonna get good torque with the FMF fatties. I'm gonna keep them in that flat black, keep it more of a stealth incognito look. And if you notice, the silencer is kind of short. That's because I'm gonna turn these into shorties. The original Banshee that I had when it was on the stock bore, I had the chopped down FMFs and they sounded really, really good. So I wanna mimic that. So here's our girl right here, the way she looks, and we are going to turn her into that. Can we do it? I just don't know. I'm sure we can, guys. And in fact, I know we can. All this stuff is subject to change. This is just the basic idea that I'm working with right now. If you guys want to protest, you can do so in the comments section below.
1992 theme. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. I think it's gonna be really sweet. It's gonna be a nice rider, and it'll just look the correct era. I've never really done like a resto mod kind of thing without like changing things radically. I just think that'll be neat. Really interesting what's going on with this engine. I'm really excited to see what's going on in there. It could be a lot of bad, or it's gonna be a lot of bad, let's be real. But it is what it is. I figured we might as well introduce this new machine and keep the content rolling. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave it a thumbs up, and also consider hitting that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. I appreciate everybody. If you're looking to support the channel even further, there is the option to join. All channel members get guaranteed responses to their comments. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.